Hey there, hey there. How you doing?
Yeah.
Oh man, let's get to it. Let's get to it, dude. So why do you think a lot of women were celebrating Kevin Samuels' death a year ago? They celebrated the death of his passing, a remembrance, rest in power for him, and women were celebrating this man's death. Like, why do you think that was?
Well, because a lot of women, only thing, or most of the time that people have seen him on camera, it's a lot of those notable moments where it seems like he's tearing down women, and kind of teaching men kind of how to be in a way that just seems a bit controversial. And I get it why people were angry. I just feel maybe it's that they just feel like he did a lot to tear down women and men equally.
Uh, I mean, that's your opinion. I felt like that was wrong to celebrate that man's death. Like, this man ain't killed nobody, robbed nobody, shot nobody, commit no harm to the public. Been a distinguished gentleman, pulled his pants up, and I just felt like, first of all, he used to get on the guys more than he got on the women. He started with the guys. I just look at it like the man just set the tone. He was just giving women, my opinion. I feel like he was giving women the same energy they gave him. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's what I looked at it as.
Yeah, I mean, I don't I don't think it's right to wish ill will or essentially piss on someone's grave like that. I
Yeah.
think that in death, people don't have the opportunity to defend themselves against their detractors.
Right.
So, of course, I feel like that's wrong, but I do understand where some people are coming from, where they're upset. And, of course, not everybody's going to agree with some of the things he may say or recommend it as advice, but you can take it or leave it.
That's how I look at
I
it.
get
Like
it.
that's how I look at it. Like I agree with about 85 to 90% of stuff Cat Sam said, and I thought he was right about some things. Some things I was like, whoa, whoa, I don't agree with, but that's his opinion. But I just look
Hmm.
at it like I think we in a time now. If you don't agree with somebody, everything they agree with is fuck you. If you don't agree with friends nowadays, can't disagree. They ain't friends no more. You got to agree on
Hmm.
everything that bad person say, and if you don't, it's considered disrespect because you're saying something that a lot of people don't agree with, which is absurd to me, though.
I think everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I feel
Right?
like the most
Yeah.
successful people have had opinions in their workplace that made a precedence or difference in their way to go up the ladder. Everyone should be able to have an opinion, but not do something stupid like be ugly or violent. Yeah, if you don't agree with it, turn the TV off. If you don't
Right.
agree with what they're saying, change the channel type stuff. You don't have to be disrespectful all the time
That's
about
what
it.
I'm saying. What about the women who call up to that man show and disrespect the man? Like you took time out your day to call this man and disrespect him, like or people who was talking on Twitter all day about this man death. But I'm like, y'all was praising Jerry Springer. I just look at it like this. Think about it like this, for example. Say if Oprah died in a group, you think a group of men could talk about Oprah death and not get any backlash or anything?
Oh yeah, I think they would get backlash for sure.
Nope. Everybody was celebrating this man death. But I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all ain't go after the killers who killed him. Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman. Y'all ain't go after the people who killed Tamir Rice, the people who, the cops who, the Dylan Roof shooting who killed 8 people, black people. Y'all ain't go after none of these shooters or whatever, these police officers who's killing innocent black men. How y'all going after this man? Like he committed a crime. Are you serious? Because he got an opinion about, like, it sounds like to me, though, the shoot fits weird, though, type shit. Like, apparently what he's saying, you fall in those categories, so you feel offended.
Well, this is how I looked at it, and I don't know if I'm just an exception to the rule, but of the Kevin Samuels videos I saw, I started to really try to bounce that off on me and see how I could be relative to like one of the women he was talking to. And it was only notable to me because I started feeling bad for her because it felt like all he was doing was saying how she kind of wasn't worth even trying to make an attempt to try to be with someone. I mean, I get it that he's saying that she needs to have some standards that she needs to set up first before she goes out and looks for someone, I suppose. And the delivery of it was harsh, in my opinion. And I feel like other women felt that way too, but they took the wrong approach at trying to be confrontational about it. You don't have to call up the podcast and show your ass and be disrespectful just to say you don't agree with his opinion.
They don't
You
do
could
that
do
with
it.
white people. Wait, hold on. Let me say this.
Mhm.
I'm gonna let you go after this.
Mhm.
They don't do that with white people because Gordon. Do you watch Gordon Ramsay's show, The Hell's Kitchen? I like that show. I used to watch it
Me
with my
too.
grandmother all the time.
Mhm.
Gordon Ramsay been on for about, it's 2023. Gordon Ramsay been on for about 25 years, I think, since I was a little boy. Gordon Ramsay been cutting people out on his show for years. I haven't seen a mob of white people saying they need to cancel Gordon Ramsay. Y'all need to take his show down and shit. And Gordon Ramsay talk shit to everybody.
No, I seen it. There was a mob of white people mad at him, but I think
They don't go to his show and disrespect him how they did Kevin Samuels.
No, yeah, you're right. It's in my opinion that it weighs differently, and we know why it weighs differently because it's a whole different demographic. Yeah, he's white, and so I think it's a shame that people were celebrating his death, but I understand why some people were.
Awful. Like this man, y'all didn't do this when they killed. You got cop that killed Eric Gardner. They killed Walter Scott, shot the man in the back. But y'all ain't celebrating. Why y'all ain't going for them motherfuckers to get dead? Y'all worried about a man on YouTube. You see, your life must be shit.
You got a point. But I mean,
why would you watch something that you don't like? If I don't like something, I'm just turn it off.
But I mean, in the same token that you're saying that, you're also like, are you calling or trying to elicit violence? And so then you'd have to be held accountable for being mad that nobody's going after the person that did all of these atrocities against different black people and groups and ethnic groups. And so it's like you have to really try to weigh and figure out what is it that you want. Do you want to elicit violence? Be like, before you go be mad at this YouTuber, you need to go out and go after those people that did all of that. Like, what are you asking?
Go after George Zimmerman. Go after the Dylan Roof after he done killed those black people in that church and they gave him a Burger King.
But then you're encouraging vigilantism.
No, I'm saying when I say go after them, I'm saying no, you can do peaceful protest. You have a right to protest. That's a part of your amendment. And you can write letters to Congress and you can get on your same social media platform and talk to Congress and call them out and make them do something.
But what
we're not
do you say to the people? But what do you say to the people who've already done that?
They ain't doing that. They're not going hard.
So now you're discrediting the people who actually went out and did that. Because at least out here in Houston, like my mom lives behind a store that has George Floyd's mural on it. Out here, like there was protest and all of that, and there was people writing my local congressmen and all of that. But I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword if you think about it.
But I look at it like this, right? I'm saying my point is this: though. Gordon Ramsay's been doing what he's doing on his show, cussing people out, calling people dumb. Gordon Ramsay called motherfuckers dumb bitches, stupid bitch. Why the fuck you put that shit there? You dumb asshole. What the fuck was you doing? And he give the same energy to the guys too. Everybody. I haven't heard no people saying they need to cancel this man's show. I haven't heard nothing like that. They need to cancel him. This dude ain't shit. He gay. They ain't had no gay rumors on Gordon Ramsay. Why they attacking the black man because he think the man gay? Even if he is gay, what business does that make? What did he do? His sex life ain't none of my business. But they didn't attack Gordon Ramsay and call him gay.
I mean, you're right. It's always going to be a demographic injustice and inequity, because I mean, like, what does it take to change it? Like, it's such a circular situation that we find ourselves in, where one demographic group is not even getting the same penalties as another demographic group. But what do you do to draw the line?
Let me say this. All black people want to do is hurt and kill other black people, and we're creating perpetuating a vicious cycle, and it never ends. Instead, the best quote I heard: when they can't attack your content and they have no argument for your content, they'll try to attack you when you attack your character.
Yeah, but contrary to that, like when you think statistics wise, black people really aren't out here trying to hurt each other.
Be that as they may, though. Be that as they may. But okay, we're gonna move on. If 50-50 relationships work, why are marriages so much less successful than ever before?
You said if 50-50 relationships work?
If 50-50 relationships work, why are marriages so much less successful than ever before?
That question is okay. I don't think there's anything proving that 50-50 relationships are working, but it really depends on who you're talking to and about. So I really can't, I'm not sure how I can answer that because it seems like it's starting off incorrect.
What do you mean?
What proof is it that 50-50 relationships are working? How do we even know that?
What I'm saying, though,
because the relationship I was in wasn't even 50-50, and it didn't even work. I was doing all the heavy lifting.
What I'm saying, the reason why they say that argument is that 50-50, both people put in. Me personally, I believe you should put in 100% though. But if men and women are chipping into both, why are marriages failing at an all-time high?
Because one, I feel like people are jumping into relationships when they're not ready and don't understand what true dynamic means and how to enact that in a relationship. I don't think that we learn soon enough what it means to be in a relationship, what those dynamics mean. Not only that, but people are too gullible to what we're seeing on social media, and thinking that what they see on TV or the internet is what their life should be like and how they should be carrying on. So some people get in relationships not knowing how to treat each other and having these expectations of maybe having their man be this person who is supposed to have this wealth that he doesn't, and it's going to maybe unattainable wealth, and women having these expectations of someone to kind of sweep them off their feet and be this rich person. But in reality is we're middle wage working class people with regular jobs. We're not celebrities out here making millions. And even still, thinking about all of that, it's like so much turmoil. I don't really see how it's so easy right now to even have a relationship work, although there's people with successes in that. But think about everything involved with trying to be in a relationship right now, and the economy and stuff. People have these unexpected, not unexpected, but ridiculous expectations to have in relationships, and people need to come back down to reality and live the world that they're in, not someone else's lives where they're trying to have these unattainable goals, or not even willing to do the work to get in a relationship that has lasting power, meaning, where both of the partners are building each other up and so on. It's very it's very far reaching to try to define a lot of that.
Right. I look at it, but I think because people fail at marriages and relationships is that people are, when they single, they're not taking time to heal from the singleness when they're single. They're taking time to fuck off and, deal with all these people. And when you have sex with all these people and deal with all these people, it's going to creep into your marriage. And whatever you don't heal from, whatever you do while you're single, you're going to do when you're married. So if you like to fuck when you were single, you're going to do it when you're married.
Mm.
So if you like to fuck in the Uber cars or fuck in the secretary office on lunch break, you can do the same thing when you're married. And matter of fact, you're going to cheat more when you get married. You're going to be fucking more because now you get a rush when you don't get caught. You get a rush. You get a thrill when you don't get caught. I get to hide this shit from my spouse. Yeah.
I can't relate to that because I've never been in a situation to have that psyche.
Well, I ain't saying you can relate to it. I'm just saying that what goes on.
Then maybe you've answered your question why marriages aren't working. Because honestly, there's more than most people that don't want to be in a relationship where they can't trust their partner. Nobody wants to be in a relationship where they're consistently being cheated on, unless that's their kink and they don't care. Everybody has their preferences. There's plenty of open relationships out here, and if that's their thing, that's their thing. But if that's what makes a marriage not work, then there's that. But there's people that are in open relationships and married, and they consider that a working relationship. So you could even define that to them as a successful marriage. So maybe we have to rethink what we define as successful relationships, what defines a successful marriage, because one woman might think that her husband having multiple partners and cheating and fucking the secretary after hours is conducive to their relationship.
I mean, to each his own on that. I don't know. I just go by Christian values and Christ values. So my opinion is different from others. But I will say this though about that is I just feel like people feel like they just got too many options though. They feel like they're missing out on a lot. I think that's I think that's a very, very huge and key part too.
Yep. That's just being part of being a human. Like, we all have this fear of missing out on this grand opportunity. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, neither. And would you call someone selfish for acting out on that?
I mean, absolutely.
Fully knowing that we only have one life to live on this earth, you're going to tell somebody they can't live their life to what they might feel is the fullest by acting on those indulgences or urges?
I'm about to answer that. I feel like it is wrong because in the end, all it is heartbreak and pain and single baby mothers and all that. But that's just my humble opinion. I just feel like it's going to end like that. But you can do that, though. Everybody has a prerogative to do whatever the hell they want to do. But at the end of the day, when you get old and by yourself, don't say there's no good men or good women. Just say you squandered that because you wanted to live a hot boy summer. Yeah,
some people fumble the bag and they end up being stuck by themselves. But
by yourself.
But to go back to what you're saying, the other thing is not everybody is out here. Not everybody is Christian, and that's no disrespect to what you're saying, but your values are different than what maybe the next man's values is. So they choose to live their lives outside of what would be the traditional rule set of Christianity, and they don't feel like that's wrong.
Well, I look at it like this, though, man. I just believe. Well, we're gonna go back there later. Let me ask. What's your thoughts on this? Women reject men who are going to make them wives for guys that made them single mothers, then complain they can't get a good guy.
I don't agree with that. It's not other men's fault that you haven't met the right person for you yet. But you want to go out in public and try to label all men like that? Yeah, my ex was trash, but that don't mean the next guy I meet's going to be trash. So why do I have to make him suffer for the other man's mistake? So they can miss me with that. I'm not about to sit here and penalize another man for my ex's mistakes. My ex is my ex for a reason. So if I meet another man, why do you have to pay the consequences of some other dude when it ain't even his fault in the first place? You fucked up in the head. Get yourself right first. Go to therapy and get yourself right first before you try to put yourself in a relationship.
Wait. Let me say this right quick. That's all Kevin Samuels was preaching. Get your ass in therapy and get some fucking help. And what do you qualify for? If your ass know you a 3, you don't qualify for a man 6'6", making $250,000. What about that man at the construction job making $30 an hour? Why can't you get that man? That's all he's saying. All he was saying was basically average women get with average men. That's it.
But how do you know what sets the precedence for what's average and what's a 10?
What you qualify for?
But how do you know what you qualify for? And then you got to think about people who are narcissists, who the collective group might think you a 2, but in their head she thinks she a 10. So how do you address that?
Listen to me. You qualify for a home or apartment, whatever you qualify, or a car, you have to have qualifications on your credit score, right? And you have to go through it. Well, women right now, their demand is not matching their supply. You can't have 4 or 5 kids and talking about you want a man making $300,000 a year and with no kids and raise all your kids. It don't work like that. It only work in Disney. It only work in Disney World movies.
But contrary to that, what do you say to the dude that done hit it so many times and then let her have more kids back to back to back? Like, we put too much pressure on one side of the party.
Wait. Let me explain something. It goes for both sides.
That's what I'm saying. It goes for both sides. But I feel like women are more criticized because they are having multiple kids.
They blame everything on men. Watch all these talk shows. But we got to go back to my question just now. Don't you feel like too many women are making one man suffer for all their mistakes?
Yeah, there's too many. Yeah, I agree with that for sure, because we wouldn't be having all these different YouTube channels and talk shows about women talking about all these disparities. At what point do we have to take accountability for the disparities that we helped create? The man didn't just jump in the relationship and ruin everything from the start. Like, if he was into you, y'all got in an equal partnership or whatever, it didn't take just him to ruin the relationship. Even in my own past relationship, I know everything wasn't on him. I know there's plenty of things I did wrong, so I'm not about to just take my experience from this one relationship and let all these other men and put that title onto other men and say men as a collective whole are like that when they're not. when they're absolutely, you're gonna be by yourself for the rest of your life if you're gonna keep treating men like they are the problem for your past negative relationships, because you'll never be happy. You will never be happy with the person you're gonna be with, or try to be with.
Thanks. We got to move on. What's your thoughts on women? What's your thoughts on women lying to men about that's their child when it's not their child?
It's disgraceful and it's not fair.
Wait, before you continue, should it be a crime for that? And should those women pay back the child support for that man who paid child support for a kid that's not theirs, or whatever, or gave money to a child that's not theirs? Should it be a crime, and should they go to jail for that, or what's your thoughts?
Let me say this much: if a woman can go to the state and file a child support case for free, and then have the state start garnishing man's money and stuff, then a man should be able to equally go to the state and demand his money back from that woman who had him paid out that child support. I don't know about it being a crime, but I think that there should be there should be some consequences to that. You sit there and ruin a man's life.